Bear with me, please. I just need to put that mic on. And here I am, ready to go. Good evening. Welcome to my YouTube Live. Today is Friday, the 21st of November. And for those who don't know me yet, I'm a therapist and coach, and I come here in my free time to give some suggestions and recommendations and talk about anything to do with mental health, therapy, psychology, human behavior, mindset, mindfulness, and anything to do with how we can elevate our quality of life from those places. I'm going to stay here maybe a couple of hours. I come every Wednesdays and every Fridays from 6 to 8 p.m. UK time. Now there are some very few exceptions where it can be very quiet. If that's the case, then I will not complete the 2 hours. But generally speaking, it takes a little while to get started. But once it does, I'm started on a train of thoughts that doesn't stop until 8 p.m. So who have we got? Irene 444. Hello. Caroline. Hello, Didi. I have come a long way now from listening to the live streams with my people pleasing and masking. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Caroline. I say more when I don't feel something is right for me and show when I am actually glad. Fantastic. Great feedback. Thank you so much. So again, yes, that's why I'm here for. If you have anything you'd like to discuss, just hit me. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to start that live, as I always do, by reading and commenting on some of my own posts on TikTok. And hopefully by the end, there'll be enough people who have gotten the right idea of what I'm about, and we start to ask questions about themselves. Let me read. There's one more comment from Caroline. I start to more feel like my real feelings and not do things just because. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for the little hearts. Okay, so let's get started. The first post that I want to read goes like this. You are not behind in life. You are moving at the exact pace your nervous system can stay regulated in. And so basically we have a system into place that is protecting us. And sometimes we feel that we are behind because we're not able to do certain things, because we have not taken some actions that we have been wanting to take for a long time. But the reason we haven't is not because we are weak, it's not because we are lazy, it's not really because we are not trying hard enough. It's because our nervous system doesn't feel safe. So it's going to keep us into a certain state to make sure that we are not going too quick as far as our sense of feeling safe is concerned. Right? And so we need to realize that whatever that we do would be connected to our nervous system. Whatever behavior we display is always related to how we feel about ourselves. And so a lot of time we behave in ways that we are not happy about, but it's always because somehow we have created the belief that behaving like that would be protective, would be protecting us. That's it. I hope it makes sense. But the most important thing is not to be unkind with ourselves. No one is behind in life. We all have a different journey. We all have a different start in life, with different baggage, different trauma, different unhealed wound and unresolved conflicts. And so we can never compare ourselves to anyone. And so what we want to do is to just focus on our journey. And that will make it much easier. Next post goes like this. Stop trying to explain your boundaries. Apply them. So we tend to try to explain and justify to people why we don't want them to behave in certain ways. But this shouldn't really matter. They know. And if they don't, it doesn't really matter. Even anyway. What we just want to do is to show them what we're going to do if they don't respect our boundaries. This is how we're going to learn and change, or tell us that they will never learn and change, so we can let go of them. Next post goes like this. Your body remembers what you are trying to forget. And so this is about how any type of repressed trauma and repressed emotions are going to create some physical illnesses in our body at a later stage in our life. A lot of time when we have some chronic illnesses or some chronic pains in somewhere in our body, through the process of hypnosis and regression, we found out that it's always connected to some emotional overwhelm, some unfinished business from the past. And our bodies kind of believe that it still needs to react the way it did back when we were younger, the first times. And maybe the last post that actually, there's not many people left. Many people yet. So I'm going to keep reading some of my own comment. Here's one that can be useful to some of you. Here are 3 beliefs that you need in order to heal. Number 1, it was not your fault. Number 2, you deserve the good things in life. And number 3, you are safe now. Those are very universal beliefs that we don't have because of the way society and culture is designed, and whatever happens to us in childhood as well. But if you can realize that nothing was ever our fault, and that we deserve the good things in life, and that we are safe now, that's pretty much all that we need in order to move forward in our lives. Another post, this time it's about mortality. You can never experience death, the afterlife, because as long as you're alive, it is not here. And once it's here, you no longer exist. And so for those who have a fear of the afterlife, the fear of not being here anymore, and I don't want to talk too long about it because I don't want the algorithm to misinterpret what I'm talking about. It really is a trick of the mind. There's nothing to fear because we can never experience it itself. It's just the idea of it. And so that's it. Let me see if there's any comment yet. Awesome. Yes. Foxy How. So glad I could join your live. Fantastic. Anything you want to ask me, just do, please. And thank you for the little hearts. Caroline, even though you don't react to people crossing boundaries, how can you make them stop trying to get a reaction or disrespect? You ignore them. You ignore them, and if they keep on insisting, you just stop seeing them. This is your power. This is your boundaries. You can say no, you can close the door, you cannot go there to that place. You don't have to talk to everyone, right? But the very important thing that you do mention is that we must work on not reacting to them. As long as we're reacting to them, we're just continuing a dance that we have agreed on. And it's a relationship dynamic, very subconscious, and we're just going to keep being who we are within how we see ourselves within that relationship. So how can you make them stop? You cannot help people stop doing anything. You can only choose what you're going to do. And what you're going to do may get them to stop eventually, but also it may not. We have no control over others. How can we make them stop? We cannot. We can only tell them what is good for us. We can only take our own actions to express our boundaries, and then the next moment we're going to deal with that situation. Now, if they're still here in our face trying to overtake us, to somehow get us to react, if they keep insisting, maybe the next boundary that you can set into place is to block them, is to not see them, right? We cannot change people. They can only change when we're ready to change, if based on how we behave. How can you make them stop trying to get a reaction or disrespect? Yeah, so I answered that. We cannot. Just ignore them physically. And if you say it's not possible, we can have a discussion. If you tell me about your specific situation, maybe we can think about something that would work realistically for you. Thank you for the little heart. Deep tip. Hi, I will give a like. Thank you, Deep tip. Foxy, how I struggle with the feeling of safety. Thank you for this. Okay, we can talk about this. Have you been traumatized? Do you believe that you have some baggage? Do you want to talk about this? Foxy, how? That is very interesting. Thank you so much. Foxy, how do I deal with loss of a close relationship due to personal growth? You accept that we're all on a different journey, and that it's going to happen all of your life, and it's okay. We are all we have a different reality, all of us. And as we grow, we realize that some people are no longer aligned with how we are in this moment. And so we must wish them the best and trust the universe to support them. But we don't want to attach ourselves to people, because sometimes some people we just cannot be with, or not anymore, and it's just the way it is. We have to accept this. But the beautiful thing about it is that there are zillions of people in the world, and so there are more people for you to always have human interactions with, right? But if you have lost someone because you have grown and they haven't yet, just look at them through the eyes of compassion and think, you know what, I wish you the best in your own journey. I hope that you can try to speak to them and tell them what you've been on as far as your journey is concerned, and see if they can find inspiration in it. If they don't push it on your face. Accept that we're all different, and they may not understand even what you're talking about at that point in time. It's just the way it is. And so appreciate the good memories, the good things you had together, and move on towards the future where there are more people who are aligned with you. And maybe that person in the future may catch up with you. It happens. But if not, it's also okay. Thank you for the little heart. Caroline, yes, then I did the better choice now, because I first ignored and now stopped being around. Yes, I feel that I cannot change the insecurities anyways. Yes, you cannot change. We all have insecurities. You have insecurities, I have insecurities. This is the human condition, it's normal, right? So we don't want to dismiss them and to look down on them. But you want to appreciate that maybe now you are letting go of some of your insecurities. So now you're able to see that. And now you can see that they are actually carrying more baggage than you did just a moment before. But it's important to have compassion and empathy for people. We all have insecurities, we're all the same. And so, yes, indeed, you cannot stop people having their own experience and carrying their own insecurities. And it's okay. Because what matters is not what they feel. What matters is how you feel. So focus on yourself, right? I cannot change my insecurities anyway. And also they may, again, as I was talking about relationship with Foxy, people may change over time. We never know. Things do happen. However, it's not our business. We shouldn't be thinking too much about it. Things happen if and when and how they're meant to be happening, and that's the way it is. Foxy, how? When you say ignore physically, how far would you go in this situation? Just stop seeing people. It's very simple. If there are people who are, even if it's your family, even if it's your best friends from childhood, even if it's people who are very close to you, if they are not respecting your boundaries, if you try to put boundaries in place and they're still pushing against it, then you have to put some new boundaries that are going to be more appropriate for that level of intensity and insistence. And so they'll be, you know what, stop. If someone starts to stalk me, I'll call the police. I get the police involved, for instance. There's always a way to do things, but we just feel that maybe I shouldn't be doing this. And no, do whatever you have to do in order to protect your peace. Peter Cooper, we have a troll, so we're going to hide the user of this channel. Let's forget about Peter Cooper. Bang, he's gone. Foxy, how? Yes, I feel I struggle with attachment issues, yet I'm willing to grow. So you are growing, you're doing some work already. And it's true that we all have attachment issues. So this is your journey. Realize that a huge part of your journey is to let go of attachment. By attachment issue, what do you mean? Do you believe that you are suffering from limerence or something like that? What do you mean by attachment issues? If you can be more clear about yourself, that'd be good. And also, just so you know, any trolls, just zap them, right? There's a function here where I can hide them from the channel, so they probably can still see what I'm talking about, but they cannot put any comment that we can see. If whatever they put, it's only them that can see, so it doesn't matter anymore. Just so you know, I'm creating a safe space here to help people. So if you don't need my help, or if you are here to crack some silly jokes, or just try to let go of your frustration of your own life, this is not the place or the time for it. If you want to ask me any question, I'm willing to help anyone. Ragnar, we're going to get rid of him as well, or her. Hired. I love this. It's so easy. So again, this is how we get rid of people. I didn't set the boundaries, but I used to do it in the past. But I'm realizing that there's a lot of people who are on the internet with the pure intent of trolling others. So they don't come from a genuine place. So I don't want to even waste my time trying to explain myself. They know who they are, they know what they do, and I hope for them to be in a better, happier kind of place, so they don't feel the need to do this anymore. But really, this is how we deal with trolls online and in real life. It's that simple. This is the space that I was talking about. We create that space between us and the people that we don't want to connect with because we're not on the same wavelength, because there's no reason as to why we should connect. It is that easy and simple. Puka Tom, nice tattoos, thank you. Foxy, thank you, Foxy. Foxy, limerence is definitely a part of it. So do you suffer from it regularly? Do you have some attachment about that person? How is limerence expressing in your life? Because limerence in and of itself, is not necessarily bad. Limerence is the first stage of love and relationship. It's when we are infatuated by someone, when we are obsessed, when we're excited, when we think about that person all the time. And for the majority of us, at least the first relationship that we have that is significant, we will experience limerence. The problem is not the limerence. The problem is if we have some patterns of limerence and we can't shake that with everyone all the time, and it's affecting our quality of life. The problem is if it is pervasive and debilitating. Foxy, how? Also, I struggle with insecurity in a professional setting. So we can talk about it. What is it about your insecurity in your professional setting? Are you talking about imposter syndrome? Do you have a job position that you believe you're not good enough, that you shouldn't have? Tell me more about you, please. Life's Film. Thank you for even being there for free. No question, just gratitude. Fantastic. Thank you, Life's Film. Foxy, how? I'm so grateful for the negative comments as well because they humanize you. The trolls, okay, because you can see how I deal with them. Is that what you mean? For the negative comments as well because they humanize you. I think that's what you mean. Correct me if I'm wrong. Caroline, are we ever 100% perfectly healed? No. Healing, being healed is not a destination. It's not a place that we reach. We are not in a place that is unhealed and we get to a place of healing. Healing is the direction, is the journey, is the process, is the mindset, is the mentality, is the attitude. So if healing is basically us doing our best to get into a better place, and there is some moment where we're going to observe some significant changes in our life, but healing is a journey that's lasts all throughout our lifetime, because we don't heal from just one thing. We're going to address the most important triggers that are creating problems in our lives. But if we have had some trauma, for instance, it is not a thing that we're addressing. We're addressing the way we function in the world in regards to everything. And so what we want to address is the filters that are going to get us to feel in a certain way, to behave in a certain way, to see the world under a certain light. And this is to do with each situation. Every moment, there are thousands of different ways in which we're impacted by trauma. And so what it means is that we can't change everything. And even if we could, it is possible, but it would take a lot of time. So we don't need to change everything. We just need to change some of the most problematic triggers and filters that we have. That's what we want to change. However, once this is done, there will always be more little things left for us to clean up, to fine-tune, to get better. Right? So I, for instance, I've heard from a lot of my big problems in life. However, I know that there's still some little things left in little corners that I haven't explored yet because I haven't been in those situations yet. And every time it happens, I'm like, this is it. I'm going to do my work. I know how to deal with that. And then I am more and more so getting rid of all the little dark gray areas that are still there because they haven't been given the chance to be addressed yet. And so we don't go from a state of unhealed to healed. We get in the better state But the healing is the direction, is the journey. It's a lifetime thing, and eventually we can change that, and we can replace healing with growth, which is the same thing. We're getting better. Healing tends to be when we have some emotional trauma, some baggage, and growth is when we are sufficiently positive and optimistic about ourselves and empowered so that we don't see ourselves like missing or lacking something anymore. We're growing. But it's the same thing. On the timeline of evolution is going in the same direction. So, Caroline, are we ever 100% perfectly healed? No. My question is, there ever a time when we're done with the work with our mental health, or is it a part of being human? Part of being human is experiencing the full spectrum of emotions and emotional states. And so what it means is that we will always experience happiness, but also sadness, but also fear, disempowerment, helplessness at times. It's perfectly human. Now, when we are healed, what it means is that we are no longer being controlled by it. We are no longer being limited by it. We are no longer obsessed by it. We are no longer constantly under the feeling of fear or anger or anxiety or any of those things. That's the difference, right? Healing is to know that we will all go through ups and downs all throughout our lives. However, we don't have a problem with that because we know how to deal with those things. We have a coping mechanism, we understand ourselves, we understand our emotions, our intuition, we understand people because we understand ourselves. So we understand more about human psychology. And so we no longer believe that we are the victim of the world. We understand that this is what we used to believe about ourselves up to this point because of X, Y, Z. And it's the same thing with other people. And when we can do that, then life becomes so much easier and more simpler, right? I hope it makes sense. Does it? The human condition is about experiencing everything, but understanding how we feel, understanding how it works. How we feel in this moment is never a problem. The problem is how we're going to address that moment, the next moment. I hope it makes sense. Yeah, if I feel pain, I can have two different choice of attitude towards that pain. I can either think, it's painful, but you know what? It happens. And if I chill down, if I focus on breathing and healing, sooner than later, I will feel better about myself. The other attitude would be pain. I hate pain. Oh, I can never have pain ever again. So now I'm going to obsess with pain. I'm going to do everything in my life to avoid any type of pain. I will avoid people. I will avoid going out. I will avoid speaking out my truth. I will avoid expressing myself, just being authentic. I will avoid all those things because I can't deal with pain anymore. And this is what is going to create a problem. And so, yeah, healing is really a huge chunk of it is learning how to accept ourselves emotionally, accept everything, every experience, every facet of ourselves. And so that includes all of our emotions and emotional states, understanding them so that we can have a better relationship with them, and also disarming some triggers from the past so that we are now able to see a different reality. As long as we suffer from some unhealed trauma or wounds of any sort, this is going to distort our perception of reality. What we're going to experience is going to be very different from someone who never had a trauma. And so, yeah, all of those things and more. And so don't expect to reach a certain state. Think instead about, okay, this is my lot right now. What can I do now with this? And as you learn how to deal with that thing better now, you're creating a skill over time, and you're becoming better and better at upgrading your program. We don't upgrade our program in the moment. When we're feeling things, when we're reacting to people or things, when we have some emotions that just happen, there's nothing we can do about it. We cannot control our emotions. We cannot control ourselves. This is the program we have installed, so we have to accept it. This is who I am. However, the following moment is when we can upgrade that program ever so slightly. We can't change who we are as things are happening. We can change before and after. Benny Kibbs, do you have any tips for staying focused? I will make plans and journal, making goals, work on it for a few days, and then go back to my old habits very easily. We do good for a good few days, then use the good as an excuse to be lazy. So first thing, there's no such thing as lazy. I mean, lazy is not bad. Let me try to talk about it in a different way. What you said, I think there are mainly two things that comes into my mind. If you find it difficult to stay focused, that'll be either because you have a brain that finds it harder to focus on things. So either you are on the ADHD spectrum, or and you may have some trauma. Right? The trauma brain is very similar to the ADHD brain. We find it difficult to focus on things because our brain has been hurt. So it's always seeking for some sort of emotional comfort. And so it's difficult for us to stay focused on something. Now, the another thing that comes into my mind is, are you doing something that you love? It's very simple. We all have a different level of, let's say, tolerance in doing things that we don't like. But if we have ADHD or CPTSD, for instance, it will be much, much, much harder for us to do things that we don't like. But even if we don't, we should live a life where we are doing things that we enjoy. And this is the thing. A lot of things that we do, we suffer from because we've been gaslit by society to believe that there's something wrong about us. We're lazy, we should have motivation, we should focus on that thing. But maybe it's not just something, it's not just a thing. Maybe I don't want to live that life. I don't want to start that career. I don't want to do that job. I don't want to do that thing. Maybe I'd rather do something totally different. And so instead of learning how to focus on things better, which I can teach you a lot of different hacks, but maybe the first question you want to ask yourself is it something that I love? Is it something that would justify my existence? Because if that's something that you love, you don't need to learn how to focus on it. It's going to happen like that because you love it. The energy, the drive that will lift you up, that you get you to do that thing, would come from a place of love, curiosity, excitement, stimulation. As opposed to, I have to find motivation from the outside in. I need to find a way to stay focused. And so remember what I said, maybe on one hand, your brain is slightly different and find it harder to focus on the things that you don't love. But also, whether you are this or not, you really want to do something that you enjoy because it's your life. We all have one life as far as this life is concerned, and we come into this life to make the most of it. And so living a life by procuration to please our parents, to please society, to have some badges, medals of honors, just because we believe that I'll be accepted if I do those things, instead of doing the things that really excite you emotionally, then maybe this is the better question that you want to ask yourself. Having said that, if you want to stay more focused, if you can give me a specific example, we can come up with some stuff. There are some things that can be done. And they can be used if it's urgent. It's something very important, right? So this is for the short term. For the long term, however, we really want to organize a lifestyle that is designed around our happiness and our intrinsic motivation and talent. Life's theme. And so, yeah, tell me what it is, please, because every goal has got different slight angle. And so, yeah. This was for Benny Gibbs. Life's theme, actually, maybe I do have a question. Okay. Whole family has passed, but my mother's fight with cancer and the American healthcare system was really bad. Now I have CPTSD from the experience and I am not TBC, to be continued. So this is from Life's theme. I'm not able to bring myself to get medical attention. Okay. So you had a terrible experience with the American healthcare system, and because of that, you find it difficult to seek help for yourself, is what you are saying. What I'd say to you is that if you believe that you need some help, people are different. And it's true that the American system is not so great based on what I read and what I see from it from my side of the pond. But there are all sort of people out there, and even if the whole system is not designed to be helpful to most people, you need to look after yourself. So find out ways to look after yourself. Change your own mindset. If you believe that you depend on your environment, on the state of the world, you are fucked. Pardon my French, right? Because the world is not doing so well. However, if you can think, you know what, I don't care if the world is like that. I'm going to find a solution. I'm going to find a way. I'm going to make it happen. No matter how long it takes, no matter how much work it's needed, I will make things happen because I deserve to heal. I deserve to feel better. This is what I want. I'm going to create this for myself. So maybe that's what you want to do. Develop a growth mindset. And there's a book that I always recommend. It's called Mindset by Carol Dweck. Read it. Check it out, and maybe that will teach you how to find your own solution. I can give an example. Talking about health and cancers, my dad had 5 cancers, and a lot of strokes and heart attacks, all sort of health, too much stress. And I think when he had cancer number 4, the number 4, it was so bad because whenever you have a cancer, it spread, and now it's affecting a different organ, and now you have to take more things into consideration. And so because it was cancer, it was organ number 4, so we lived in France. No French doctors wanted to operate him. There was not a single French doctor who thought it was. They said, you're not going to make it. 6 months maximum. There's no need to try, it's too bad. And he went to see a lot of specialists, and they all said the same thing. And so he thought, you know what, fuck them. Again, pardon my French. Let's go to Hong Kong, because my parents are originally from Hong Kong, and let's try our luck there. So they went there, and then they found a doctor that was willing to operate on him. And so I called my dad on the phone a few days after the operation to check it out on him. And I was worried. I didn't know what happened. But as soon as I talked to my uncle who answered the phone, there was a lot of noise in the background. And he said, oh, you want to talk to your dad? Just wait a minute. And he shouted to get my dad. And the noise was my dad singing karaoke and dancing, singing and dancing on Jailhouse Rock from Elvis Presley. So basically, it was fine, just like that, because he kept on looking for it, even though everyone told him in France it's never going to happen. And so my moral of the story is that even if everyone tells you that it's wrong, or even if the world seems like everyone is useless, it's never going to happen, you can always make it happen. Do it for yourself, change your mindset. Read that book called Mindset from Carol Dweck. Change the way you look at your environment. You are not defined by your environment. You define it. The difference between someone who creates the environment and someone who is the victim of the environment is the mindset, no more or less. And the mindset is not something that we choose. It's not a fault. I don't want to blame victims, right? We don't choose to be a victim. If we have a victim mindset, it's because we have been hurt. So we have a heart set that is carrying some trauma, some baggage, some negative belief that we have about ourselves. So we never choose that. It is true, however, that we have that mindset, and we can upgrade it if we can realize this. As a child, we never choose our environment. However, as an adult, we can. And if we don't, it's because in that moment, we still believe that we are the child being the victim of its environment. So that's the difference. We never want to blame any victims. However, we are the victims as long as we still see things from the position of the child that was a victim of its environment. Yeah. I hope it makes sense. Does it? That was for Life's Theme. And thank you for the little heart, whoever that is. Foxy, grace in the face of ridicule and rejection is something I struggle with. It's a journey, it takes time, and there's all sorts of reasons as to why you may find it difficult. I suffered from terrible low self-esteem and insecurities for a huge chunk of my life. Again, borderline personality disorder, amongst other things, ADHD, trauma. And so I understand that it's the hardest thing to do for some of us. But it's possible, it's a journey, and so we can talk about it if you want. If you can give me some examples about rejection, about the fear of it, then we can address this for you specifically. Foxy, how? Foxy, I'm very impressed at how you deal with negative feedback. I'm learning how to deal with it correctly. I didn't deal with that well in the past. I have learned how to do this. In the past, I would react, I would counterattack, I would be super defensive, I would be super reactive and super insecure. like for 38 years. Anything used to really trigger me. Everything that people would say, everything that people may insinuate. My mind was always highly wired to only see the nastiness in people and how they would try to hurt me. So I would always have to retaliate, to defend, to protect, to justify, to explain, all of those things. And it's a journey. When you start to realize that you're only doing this because of some of your limiting belief. And if you can upgrade those beliefs, then eventually you realize people are just projecting their own stuff. It's got nothing to do with me. So I don't need to react to that anymore. It's got nothing to do with me. And then eventually you get to the state where I am, where people are going to tell me all sorts of things, trying to hurt my feelings, trying to attack me for whatever reason, but it's got nothing to do with me. And then me, instead of reacting, I would just move on from them with compassion. I don't even have anger towards them because I understand. I used to be like them. I used to be very, very nasty as a human being because of my conditions, because of my trauma, because of my past and my upbringing. But we can all change. Caroline, thank you so much for that answer. It was so good. Fantastic. Thank you so much. I was a little plant growing. Foxy, sufficiently optimistic about ourselves. Yes, we want to learn how to be optimistic, as in we want to trust ourselves, we want to trust the universe, we want to trust that we are supported, that everything is going to be fine, nothing is going to be perfect, and we will have pain every now and then, but we will still be fine in the end, eventually at some point. We fluctuate like that. And if we can zoom out and see ourselves fluctuating in that direction, then when we're going down, it's okay. Because we know we're going to go back up. But also, we know that when we're going down, it's never going to be as low as the previous downs. And we're going to get high. It's going to be slightly higher than the previous highs, just as well. And this is the process of healing. It's not us always being here. It's us going in that direction. Foxy, I liked that. Thank you. Foxy, thank you so much. Your answers to others helped me as well. Fantastic. Sprinklers, I feel broken as a person because throughout my life, I've always helped people and been good to them, but they always use, abuse, and take from me. Why do I attract these kinds of people, my family too? Because you are allowing them in your life. So it's not conscious, it's a subconscious process. But essentially, the reason why people are taking advantage of you is not because you're being too kind to them. It's not because the world is full of bad people and they're all like vampires. It is because it is the energy that you are sending. You're a people pleaser. You grew up believing that your place in the world, in your family or in society, was to heal others, to help others, to make people happy. You believe that people's happiness is your business, it's your responsibility. And because you do that, then people are coming to suck your energy. But because you believe that you are here to help others and that you are not good enough to deserve that love and that happiness, you allow people to take advantage of you. A lot of people are kind. I'm kind to people. But if someone is taking the piss, I will sit, I will think, okay, that's enough. Stop. We're not going to carry on anymore because it's not working. I will show you the best, but no. Wall. Lock the door. Forget. And you can do the same. The reason why people take advantage of you is not because you are kind, it's because you are allowing them. The first time when they showed you that they were not genuine, that they were not coming from a good place, you didn't take that action. It's not your fault. Again, it's all subconscious. You didn't take that action because it's the way you look at yourself. It's the way you see yourself. You see yourself like someone who is maybe a doormat. You believe that for you to get love and acceptance and appreciation from others, which we all need, you have to behave like that. Probably something to do with your childhood, the relationship that you had with your parents, with your teachers, with whoever you looked up to. And so I've always helped people and been good to them, but they always use me. So accept that because you are good with people doesn't mean that will be good to you. It's a belief. It's a fake belief. It's unrealistic. It's going to create a lot of problems for you. If we believe that because I behave like that, everyone should behave the same way, I'm going to suffer. What are the chances that everyone are going to behave the same way that I do? If I believe that because I think the way I think, everyone should think the same. Because I feel the way I feel, everyone should feel the same. Because I have those moral values, everyone should have the same. Otherwise, they're bad. If I believe that, then I'm putting myself in the center of the universe, and I believe that I'm everything, and everything should follow who I am, and This is just wrong. It's not true. We do this because we have not upgraded our perspective. We're still the child that does believe that he is the center of the world. When we're a child, we believe that. Like literally, we're not able to experience life any other than from our vantage point. But when we grow up, sometimes we forget that it's no longer the case. And so because I feel like that, because I want this, doesn't mean that it's got anything to do with anyone else. It's our own problem to deal with. So we want to change that belief. Because I behave like that doesn't mean that everyone should behave like that either. We're different and it's okay. Because I treat them well doesn't mean that they will treat me well back. No, not at all. And so if you're going to treat them well because you want to treat them well, not because you're expecting them to treat you well back in return. I hope it makes sense. And again, I'm not trying to insinuate that you are a bad person, that you only do things to get something back, but we all do this. And we need to raise an awareness of this and learn how to do things because I want to, or learn how to not do it because I don't want to. This is that simple. Listen to your heart, listen to your intuition. What do I really want to do? They're asking me to do something. Do I want to do this because I really want to make them happy? Or do I want to do this because I want to be a good person? Because I want to feel safe. One of the systems telling me, oh, say yes. You always say yes. You should say yes to them. Because if that's the case, I believe that that's what you do. Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong, right? But just based on what you've written, I believe that this may be the case. Are you a people pleaser? Do you believe that your whole life you believe that your worth was reflected on how you treated others and that also people should treat you the same way as you treat them? As long as we believe in those beliefs, and again, it's not your fault, we just borrow belief from our parents, from society, from religion, from television, social media, people. But as long as we believe those beliefs, we will suffer from them because you're going to have some expectations that will not be met at some point, and you will be disappointed, and you will be hurt, and you'll believe that there's something wrong with them, and also there's something wrong with you. And there was nothing ever wrong. There was nothing ever wrong with anyone. We just behave in whichever way we believe is normal. And there's no such thing as normality. We only carry on, we perpetuate the normality of our parents, of our upbringing, and we can always upgrade it if it doesn't work for us. Does it make sense, sprinklers? And so when you attract those kinds of people, it's because precisely you have created a sense of yourself that believes that those are the sort of people that you deserve in your life. We attract who we feel familiar with. The mind seeks familiarity. And so if you didn't have an upbringing full of love, unconditional love, then you're going to see yourself as someone who does not deserve unconditional love. And so your mind is going to be helping you and only attract and invite and see and notice the people who are difficult, the people who will not give you love for sure, the people who will take advantage of you, who will manipulate you, who will lie to you, who will cheat on you and all those things, because your mind doesn't believe that you deserve or that even you will be safe in a loving relationship. It doesn't know about love. So it feels that maybe it's dodgy. We don't know what it is. But to keep you in a safe space and only attract the people but remind you emotionally of the people you grew up with. So maybe people who manipulated you, people who gaslighted you, people who didn't listen to you, people who took advantage of you. What do you say, Sprinkle? Foxy, I am focusing on healing in my life now. Fantastic. Good on you. Life theme, same. Good. Foxy, how? I can relate to Sprinklers. Okay. So I hope that anything that I said helped any one of you. Helen O'Neill said hi. Hello, Helen. Foxy, this is the second live stream I have been able to join, and I will be joining weekly from now on. Thank you. Fantastic. Thank you. I come here twice a week, just so you know. Every Wednesdays and Fridays from 6 to 8 p.m. UK time. So, yeah. I shall 285. Can you please explain how two avoidant person can connect? I'm not sure. Either avoidant. I think a lot of the things that we do can happen sometimes through our own intuition. And so two people who are avoidant may connect for other reasons because they feel that there's something, and that could be enough. It depends. But I don't believe that there's a recipe or a system for this to happen. Is it because you are avoidant and you know someone that is avoidant and would like to connect? Could you tell me more? I want to understand your question, please. Sprinkle at Foxy, it's horrible and I don't trust myself, no one to make the right discernment when it comes to people. Okay. Laughs Film, am I muted? No, you're not muted. Oh, guys, just so you know, I'm a little bit late. This is live and I read every comment except for the trolls, in which case I will mention the name before I get rid of them. But I can be late, but I will read every single one of your comments. Foxy, how? I have ADHD, so I am well versed in the subject of laziness versus mental load. Okay, okay. So you know that if you have ADHD, you're not lazy. It's just a lack of dopamine. Your brain is not able to do that thing. It's not because you're lazy. It's because you don't have the inner stimulation, chemical stimulation, that will get you to get focused on that thing. Right? So it's not laziness at all. When we have ADHD, what we need to realize is that although it's very hard for us to focus on things that we don't enjoy, the things that we do enjoy, we are very good at them. And we don't need motivation. And this is why you want to really reorganize your life around. You want to create something that you love so much, but you never need to have some motivation or systems to focus on it because you're obsessed with it. You hyperfixate on it. And this is what I'm doing with my own ADHD. I'm talking to you guys today and every day, I mean, whenever I come here, because I'm obsessed with my work, because it's my thing. I found my thing after all those years, and I'm obsessed. I think about it all day long, every day. I talk about it to everyone in the local supermarket, in the park when I'm bumping into strangers, anyone. I'm obsessed with that, and I love it. And I'm beginning, and every day, and for the rest of my life, I will always get better and better at it because, and thanks to my ADHD and my power of hyperfixation on the things that I love. And this is what I'm suggesting to you. Foxy, how? Let's go to the idea of laziness. Lazy is a myth that was invented by capitalism to force people to do the hard work that no one else wants to do. You are lazy. You're going to end up in hell if you keep being so lazy. And it's not, it's just that no one wants to do that stuff. Or maybe you don't want to do this. Maybe some people would love to do that, but it's not for you. Do something else. Follow your excitement. Last film. Oh, was just a glitch. Never mind. Foxy, how? At Sprinklers. It is. I hope you are able to find some good in this advice, and I hope you know you do matter and you are heard. Thank you, Foxy. And I agree with that. Life's film, it's fear and no trust. Not something I don't want to do. So if you don't want to do something, okay. So fear and no trust. So what are we talking about? You're finding it difficult to do something, and you say that it's not laziness. Now it's fear and no trust. Is that what you mean? No trust in what? Fear about what? Tell me more about this, please, so that I can have an understanding of your mind a little bit more. No, it is 11:30 a.m. for me. 2 drinks in and eyeballing stolen morphine as a way to get some relief. Okay, okay. I hope that you're feeling better then. Noah, the name is Nona. I need to call you Nona. Sprinkle at Foxy, thank you for the kind words. It means a lot right now. Okay. Foxy at Sprinkles, I understand and I hope you will find a light in your life soon. Yes, I do too. Life's theme at Sprinkles comes from youth. Family dynamic forced you to take care of yourself and to try taking care of your family and now your friends and everyone you encounter. It's not about taking care, it's how you take care of. You want to take care of people that matter to us, but there are different ways of doing this. So again, we can talk about this. If anything that I said before in regards to you, Sprinkle, is not correct, do tell me and we can address it from a different angle. I don't know everything. I'm just doing my best to share how I feel based on few words that are typed on that screen. Sprinkle at life, that's true. Foxy at Sprinkle, I'm struggling too at the moment. Foxy at Nona, I relate. Last film, yes. So someone put a silly comment, so I'm going to get rid of that person. Forget about Psychema. I haven't got a clue even about what their joke is about. Last film, you just have spinal issues and I'm not willing to take pain meds. All right, okay. So if you have pain, it's problematic because physical pain, emotional is physical as well, is going to affect our mental state. There's a direct connection that goes both ways between what we think and how we feel. And so if you have some constant lingering discomfort or even pain in your body, it's going to affect the way you see the world, the way you interpret reality, the way you see yourself in this world, your approach to hope and optimism, or maybe the lack of it. All of this will be affected by your very physical state. It's very, very important to realize this. And so, so we want to find a way for you to find some sort of relief without pain medications, right? We can talk about it if you want. Have you tried anything so far? Do you have any ideas, anything that you like to explore as far as pain is concerned? Have you explored hypnosis? Also alternative stuff like ice bath. There's a lot of different things that people do to address pain that is not necessarily to do with medications. Foxy, I will read it. Okay, gosh, I'm behind. Goated, what part of Japan are you from? Are you Buddhist? I'm not Japanese and I'm not Buddhist. I look Japanese. I know that because my parents, who are Chinese, my mom used to tell me she picked up the wrong baby in the hospital. She picked up a Japanese baby instead of her kid. And so, no, I'm not Japanese at all. I'm French. Originally, my parents are from China, and I've been living in London, in the UK, for 29 years. And I'm not Buddhist, but I love Buddhism, and I utilize, I borrow a lot of Buddhist wisdom to explain things to people. And so Buddhism is something that I love, but I'm not Buddhist. My mom is Buddhist. Foxy, how stress due to health problems is also a factor in my panic attacks. Absolutely, absolutely. Stress is the one thing that makes everything worse for all of us. And so we're talking about any sort of stress, emotional and physical stress, mental stress. Stress is an overwhelm. So stress in little quantities, stress is not bad per se. Stress is a stimulation, no more, no less. Too much of it, however, or too much of it for too long or too frequently is going to create the problem. And that's how stress, in terms of mental health, for instance, the stress that we go through in life, taking the tube, being with people, or thinking about stuff, the sort of stress is going to make everything worse. Whatever condition that we have, whatever unheard problems we have, is going to be inflamed more by stress. And this is why stress management is such an important part of healing. And it's not just about healing, it's lifestyle. We should all really prioritize finding a way to let go of the stress that exists inside of us already to start with, but also limit our exposure to the outside stress just as well. Those two things together. And this is for everyone, but even more so for those who are trying to heal. So I, for instance, I have created a lifestyle where I'm not allowing myself to be overwhelmed by external stress anymore. And it works very well for me. A lot of my problems, including very physical symptoms, have healed. Lifetime problems, just by me not being in certain places at certain times with certain people anymore. Just like that. Because I understand that my brain is slightly different to neurotypical ones. And so the way that I deal with the world, with society, the way I react to it, the way my nervous system, my subconscious mind, my body is going to react to it is going to be different. So I need to create a system to make sure that I limit that information coming from the outside. Life's theme, and can't trust the staff with surgeries, hard insurance, hard money, and the willingness. Okay, so hopefully get that book, Mindset, from Carol Dweck, and see where your mind is going to take you. Nona, recently self-discharged from therapy after 2 years and different meds because faking it to make it wasn't working. Okay. So if you're faking it, yeah, of course, it was never going to work. We can talk about you if you want. Sprinkle, if you want to share with me some of your stuff, I'm more than happy to maybe share some different perspective to you, perhaps. Sprinkles, at Foxy, I've had so much betrayal this year alone, it brought me to my knees. Yeah. So this is the thing, as long as we expect people to behave in a certain way, as long as we expect for people to be loyal, we're going to suffer from betrayal. We need to let go of that. And I know that it's hard and it's difficult, but people are just people. People change. There are millions of reasons as to why they change. We all change all the time. You change, I change. Everything changes. It's the nature of the universe. Everything and everyone changes each moment, and it's the nature of evolution. It's life, it's movement and change. And so we must accept this. And instead of expecting for people to be like that, if they are loyal to us, we want to celebrate and appreciate. And if they're not, we must accept. It's okay. Maybe we've had some good memories and now it's not working anymore. I wish you all the best. I'm going to focus on myself. I'm going to focus on the new people in my life, the people with whom we are aligned and with whom it's easy. And this is, we're going back to some Buddhist principles. We want to learn how to live our life with less attachment. But it's a whole process. Goated at Foxy. No need to stress. Family, start eating healthy food and exercise for your own well-being. So I'm not sure what you, I think you come from a good place, but when we stress, there's a reason why we stress. If someone is stressed out and you say to them, no need to stress, just do that, even though you may come from a good place, you're dismissing the experience, you're dismissing the feelings. And so I hope you understand where I'm going from. It's important to show people that we see them, that we're listening to them, that their words and their experience matter to us. Foxy, love your tattoos, make me wonder, what is your story? Oh, I've got a long story. I'm an old man, I'm 55, so I've got a lot of stories about myself. But yes, tattoos, I don't know. I don't think that there's one story. I enjoy tattoos. And so there's that. Now each of my tattoos means something to me. Life's theme, I just need to leave the US, I guess. Maybe. If you can afford it, if you can organize something over some period of time, maybe it's easier for you to seek help in a different country. I know that a lot of people in the UK, they do that. They do all sorts of different type of surgeries, either cosmetic or health ones, in places like Turkey, Thailand, different places. Of course, you need to do your research and make sure that you don't end up being butchered like in some horror movies. But there are some people, some good surgeons in some places. I know, like Thailand, for instance, because some of my friends are from Thailand and they tell me you can have the same operation, the same thing for the same price, but on top of that, you get the flight and the holiday. So it's and the results are good, and it's happening like that without having to wait forever. So think about maybe doing your research and seeing if there are places indeed with some reputable doctors who can help you in ways that are efficient, but also economically viable. Caroline, you know, Didi, after you talked about gratitude, I watched the movie Soul, and it reminded me of that. Sometimes we get the pressure, but it has to be something, a big spark, as they called it in the movie. Okay, I haven't seen that movie. I'll check it out when I have a chance. Soul. It's an animated movie, isn't it? Is it Pixar? Last film, Mindset from Carol Dweck. It's not Carl Drake. It's Carol. It's a woman. Carol, and Dweck is spelled Dweck. Carol Dweck. Foxy, Caroline, I love that movie. Thanks for bringing it up. I can see what you mean. Last film, kind of, yes. Goated at life film. There is no mind, it's only life experiencing, and your life force energy, you're not your body. Okay. So you are sharing with us, Goated, your experience, and so it's great. You know, we all have different kind of self-awakening journeys for many of us, but it's very important to realize that this is your experience, and your experience has got nothing to do with other experience more often than not. And so what I see here is that a lot of people need some help, and it needs to be seen and heard, and it's very important for us to give them that space. Right? I appreciate what you are sharing with us, and I do agree to what you say in some extent, but I believe that there's a time and a place to share those understandings of life. Life's theme, pain and depression are more real than anything I have experienced. Yes, absolutely. Everything is real. Everything becomes real at some point. There's no such thing as one reality. Reality is a canvas. But whatever we believe or whatever we continue, whatever we reinforce based on our start in life is going to keep creating that reality for us. Last film, goated, you must be young. uh, maybe not. Foxy, I like what you said about being super reactive in the past. Thank you for giving me hope and showing me that retaliation is not necessary. Yes, absolutely. I used to be obsessed with revenge. I had some horrible horror stories, kind of scenarios in my mind. I was going to have revenge on everyone who hurt me. I had a list, a blacklist of people that I wanted to hurt. I was obsessed because I've been hurt so much. And it was very, very dark. I can't tell you so much, but you can imagine the worst thing was particularly anything you can imagine, and was what I was obsessed about all the time. I planned things. And I'm so glad that I didn't get to do those things, and that I managed to heal as well from it. But it's possible to change no matter how bad your thoughts and your intent may be. Life's film, goated. You need humility and maybe a beating. Foxy, at Life's film, I understand. Goated, life film. You choose to suffer or be blissful. So we don't choose. We don't choose consciously. We choose subconsciously. This is where everyone's got it wrong. It's true that we choose. It's not that we choose. We allow things based on what we know. So somehow it's kind of a choice, but it's not a conscious choice. It's not a deliberate choice. It's not an intentional choice. It's just that we're not aware that our subconscious mind is choosing that for us. That's the difference. Because if you don't explain this, people are going to think, what do you mean? Are you saying that I'm choosing to suffer? I'm choosing to be ill? I'm choosing to have all those problems? No, no one chooses it consciously. But it's true that our program, our subconscious mind, is choosing it for us by allowing it to continue happening. Foxy, how? Do you really think so? Goated, yes. Nona, the only support I have is my kids, and that feels so wrong and backward. If I can give you support right here, right now, and every time that I'm coming live, if you can come again, I'm more than happy to talk to you. Every Wednesdays and every Fridays for 2 hours, I'm here and I can speak to you and everyone else. And I'm more than, this is what I do, right? I've been doing it before on TikTok, before I came on YouTube, and I've done it for like, I don't know, 2.5 years there. And there, some people have been following me all the time, and they have changed substantially enough now to be good just by talking to me, by coming regularly every week. So come to my life. I'm here. You're not on your own, not at all. And I'm sure that if you get acquainted with people around here, they will support you as well. I want to create a community. You're not on your own. No. Talk to me, please, if you're ready for it. Foxy, how? An unconscious process, exactly. Yes, Foxy and Nona. I really only have my 14-year-old daughter, and that is okay. Goated, message retracted. Foxy, at Goated, I can appreciate your point of view. Actually, can you tell me more? All right. Life's film. Some suffering is well beyond our own control. Everything is beyond our control. We cannot control anything, right? What we can do, however, is to choose how we're going to address the next moment. I am a bit upset at your blind naivety and self-righteous disposition, like a keyboard warrior who's never been punched in the face for goated. Okay, so I understand. So this is why I was trying to tell you goated. Some people will react to that because you're not showing empathy or compassion. And I know that I believe that you come from a good place and you're excited. You have been discovering some new stuff about reality. And so you want to share this with the world. But it's very important to stay compassionate and empathetic and humble and realize that we're all at a different stage on your journey. And many of us really suffer. And the last thing we want to hear is, you're making this yourself, it's not reality, da, da, da. It's true for people who are like you, who are into the space where you are, but not everyone is. Okay? Just 1 minute, please. My watch is told me that it's time for me to put my last TikTok post out. Stop trying to explain or justify your boundaries. I do it now, otherwise it will
I actually went to see a doctor.
Sorry. So the post is, stop trying to explain or justify your boundaries. Apply them. Okay, done. Thank you. So yes, so that was meant to happen. Goated. I hope that you understand my perspective now. I understand. I appreciate. I'm sure that you don't mean bad, but this is realizing that we are all living a different reality, and it's very important to realize this. as opposed to just project our own. Foxy, I have always believed if I was good to people, that other people and even life in general would be kind to me. Why did I cultivate this belief if it is untrue? Because people believe it, because this is what we've been taught, because our parents, because society, because religion teaches us that, because Disney movies teaches us that. If you behave well, at some point, your Prince Charming will come on a white horse with a shining armor to save you from all the bad stuff. We believe that because we've been conditioned to believe that, and it's not true. It's just not true. We all believe that. We believe that life must treat me fairly. People must be fair to me. And it's just impossible. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, and it's okay. Life's theme. You have proof, or are you more right than ever religion out there? Goated. Message retracted. Nona, altruism is not a part of the human condition, it is a construct. I don't believe that. I believe that altruism is our natural state. But I understand that you've been suffering a lot, so it's going to be difficult for you to not resist that idea. I get it. I used to also suffer for a long, long time. I used to hate everyone. I used to believe that people are bad. They're born bad. Humans are horrible. Everyone, starting with kids, but also adults. And so I was obsessed with so much fear and hatred, and that became my reality. But I do believe that we are good in nature, and we have turned into that because of the state of the world. As we grow up into that society, we've been taught that some people are better than others, some people are lesser than others. We must destroy them, we must control, we must have more. And because of all of us, we end up in that situation. But not everyone is like that. Some societies, some communities don't teach that. But not many left, but there are some, maybe some small villages in some Southeast Asia where people are very chilled and they help and support one another and they're all in it together. And this is where we should learn how to return. We need to create a better society that is more to do with the way we have been interacting with one another originally. I believe that altruism is something that should come naturally. It's just, I believe that our natural state is self-love, confidence, health, happiness, and peace. That will be our natural state. If we're not like that, it's because we've been traumatized by life, by people, by limiting belief. But I understand that if you've been suffering for a long time, it will be difficult for you to agree with me, and it's absolutely fair enough. However, I want you to realize that I used to be just as dark and negative, probably as you are. I used to be in very dark places for 38 years, and yet I've changed. And a lot of people that I look after, and a lot of my friends, and a lot of people that I know, we also used to all believe that everything was dark and bad. And many of us have changed. So my message is that because you feel something, because you believe something, because your life has been like that for a long time, doesn't mean that it will always be like that. It can change. I don't know if it will, but it can. Last theme, prove your fact. Foxy, do I do this because I want to feel safe? That is something I need to ponder. Before I continue, there's someone called Sean Tweed that I need to get rid of. That's it, done. Sean Tweed, you're gone. Red card. Okay, so Foxy, do I do this because I want to feel safe? Yes. So I'm not sure what you're referring to, but if you are referring to attracting people who are going to take advantage of you and allowing them to do that, it is because it's familiar. And whatever is familiar is deemed safe as far as your brain is concerned. Even if it's painful, even if it's not good for your happiness or your health, the mind is just attracted to what is familiar. And so familiar somehow is safe. Last theme, otherwise you are a know-it-all and full of ... So we're still talking to Goated, I assume. Very interesting, thank you. Thank you, AZ1904. Sprinklers, I just will not hurt people, I only help and leave them in a better place. I don't want anything from them, just for them, not to use and hurt me. And yes, I'm a people pleaser from childhood. So yes, so if you're a people pleaser, you understand this, right? When we're a people pleaser, it's a trauma response. People pleasing is the colloquial way to talk about phoning. Phoning is a defense mechanism. When we're on a survival mode, we can fight, flight, freeze, phone, or flop. Phoning is number 4. So phoning means going along with the abuser so that we don't get hurt more. Or if we are not traumatized with a big T, with a small t, phoning would be behaving certain ways to be seen, to be accepted, to get the love that we need. We're going to hunt, seek, do things to get that love, because love doesn't come to us naturally and unconditionally. So it still comes from a place of unsafety. If we don't feel that we are constantly loved in childhood, we feel that we're not safe. We don't have someone always looking after us, so we have to do something. We need to get them to see us and to appreciate us and to praise us. We need them to be proud of us. So now we feel that they have our back. And so people pleasing is not about doing things because we want to do things to make people happy. We do things because we want to regulate our nervous system. We say yes, because every time we say yes, every time our mouth says yes, even though our heart wants to say no, our nervous system is saying thank you. Our nervous system can't deal with conflict. It can't deal with people being unhappy. It can't deal with people not being given what they're asking from us. Does it make sense, Sprinkles? Foxy at Goated. Hey, thanks. You kind of have Tyler Durden vibes. Okay. Last theme, wrong country at Shantwed. Goated at Foxy How. You're welcome, lol. Okay. Last theme, he's Chinese. Yes, I am. Gosh, I'm behind. Bear with me. I'm going to read all of your comments. Sprinkles, how can I change my mind? Therapy or self-reflection or meditation or whatever that works for you. You want to go on a journey of self-reflection. You want to understand things about yourself. And so my first advice to you would be to seek therapy, professional help, if you can do this. If not, you can read books, learn more about your mind. You can practice meditation, mindfulness. You can try different alternative holistic protocols. It's about going on a journey of self-discovery and understanding that whatever you believed up to this point was your reality because you believed it. So you want to understand, so we can talk about this, but it's a big topic and it's different for everyone. So we need to know more about you in order to give you some recommendations. But essentially, you want to get started on your journey of self-discovery, self-awareness, self-acceptance, self-forgiveness. You want to upgrade your belief that you have about yourself, your sense of self, your sense of identity. Pumpkin Puff. Hi Didi, how are you today? You're looking sharp today. Thank you. Because of this, because it's winter time, and so in the UK, when it's cold, we put some stuff inside because the houses are very old. So even when we put the heating, it doesn't last very long. And so there you go. But thank you for the comment. Foxy at Sprinkle, good question. So everything is case by case. Right? So if you can tell me about you, I can explore some specific belief related to some specific patterns of behavior or incidents. We can address this like that. Other than that, it's all about understanding how the mind works and understanding our past, our relationship with our past, and how we can upgrade that relationship. We can't upgrade our past, but we can upgrade how we look at it, how we see it. And as we do this, we're also changing how we see ourselves now in the present moment. And as we do this, a lot of the triggers that we have no longer need to exist in our lives. Last theme at Goated, muted, still waiting on this word, changing proof of said fact. Last theme, just let it go, please, it doesn't matter. I'm sure that that person didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Maybe sometimes people can be clumsy and they forget that people are in a different place. Please, let it go, it doesn't matter. Speak to me instead. Foxy How, I must go, I received a call at work. Thank you so much for this live stream. My pleasure. Foxy How, come back. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. And I come live every Wednesdays and every Fridays from 6 to 8 p.m. UK time. So we can continue this anytime. And good day to you. Sprinkers, bye Foxy, take care. Wishes get kisses said hi. Hello. Caroline at Foxy. Have a good day, Foxy. Wishes get kisses. I just wanted to say your words helped me. Thank you. Fantastic. Thank you. Wishes get kisses. Last film understood by Foxy. Thank you for your input as well, Sprinkles. I'm probably going to head off too. Guy was irritating. I get it. And I need to change my nature now. Getting off YouTube for a bit. Okay. I'll speak to you next. Do come back, please. Last film. I enjoy our conversation, and I'm sure there's much more to this. AZ1904. Thank you from France, sir. It's very helpful. All right. Bonjour. I was born in Paris, in France, so I speak French. Right, we have some French people on that live stream. I will look up to that book, Mindset. Yes, please. Sprinkles at live. Take care, and thank you for your input too. Cher Bear. Hello, Cher Bear. Last film. Apologies for my negativity as well. It's okay. It happens. We're all humans. No problem. People like that, for some reason, I allow myself to get very upset with. It happens. It's normal. Don't worry. We all do things, and me too, everyone, it happens. What matters is not what we do when we're reacting, because in that moment there's nothing we can do but react. That's the program. What matters is how we're going to address that the next moment. So the next moment, tell yourself, if this happened, I can let it go. I don't need to do this anymore. Now I'm in a better emotional state. I can breathe, and I can come back to full mental clarity and choose to focus on the things that I want to focus on instead of getting angry at that stranger online. Q Hero. Hi everyone. Hello, Q Hero. Last film, crippled. Had to let go of careers as I degrade and hobbies. So we can talk about it if you want. Helen O'Neill. I enjoy this live stream very much. Thank you. It's the first time I joined in. All right, please do come back. Your answers are very calming. You have a very respectful way to phrase things and explain it clearly. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you appreciate. Zarek, do you speak Chinese? I speak some Cantonese. My Mandarin is non-existent. I used to have a little bit, but it's all gone. And my Cantonese is very, very, very rusty. But I do have some part of my brain that thinks and dreams in Cantonese sometimes. Wilma, hello. Katarinam, thank you, Didi. Thank you, Katarinam. Helena, although I didn't ask anything myself in particular, I can relate a lot to the themes mentioned by others. Okay, fantastic. Great. So guys, realize whenever you're asking me questions, it's not just about you. It also can help other people. So do ask. Last theme. I have tried chiropractors, physical therapy, and diet change while trying to replace what is lost to maintain mindset or mental health. Okay, yeah, no, okay, I remember our conversation. So you suffer from physical discomfort or even pain, right? So this is tricky. I will need to know you more in order to be able to give you an advice. But it's possible for you to explore different aspects of yourself so that you have a better relationship with whatever your body gives you as in terms of sensations, including pain. Maybe something you want to chat about. Zarik, what is this live stream about? It's about mental health, it's about therapy, it's about psychology, it's about human behavior, it's about relationships, it's about understanding the mechanics of the mind, why we are the way we are, why we feel the way we feel, why we interact and react to people the way we do, and how we can improve our life through the understanding of all those things. Last thing, docs wanted surgery and pain management with opioids. I'm not willing to go under the knife here or take pain meds for longer than 2 weeks. Okay. Mental health at Zarek. Yes. He's a licensed therapist. I am a licensed RTT therapist. Yes. RTT and clinical hypnotherapist. But I'm not a psychotherapist or a psychologist. It's different. Right? Very important. I am not that. But I have a very good understanding of the human mind because my profession, my job, needs me to understand the mind in order to help them upgrade their limiting belief about themselves. Zareke, mental, okay, yes. Angel Silva, the most untrustworthy person I've seen today. I'm not going to finish that comment. Another troll. Angelo Silva, we're going to get rid of that person, hide this user. Okay, forget about Angelo Silva. Pearson 4770. I just like your philosophy. Thank you so much, Pearson. Last film, I was going to go, but we keep addressing a part of my issues, so I keep engaging. I get you hooked. R. Pearson, also your voice, I enjoy that as well. Thank you very much. Chish, all peace to you as well. Pearson 47, easy to dismiss when you don't know how to react. I'm not sure what you mean, but we can talk about it if you want. 57 here. So you are 57 years old, is what you're saying? R. Pearson, that sounds like a good idea. Surgery and disappear and change forever. I don't understand, Pearson. Last film, it's either change or die. Okay. Selina, Sweet Table. Nice to see you live again. Thank you. Last film, Carol Dweck. Copy. Okay, fantastic. Gosh, I'm really behind, I think. Cypher Junk. It's much more enjoyable to listen to you when you speak at this pace. I speak at the pace that I do, so it changes. Sometimes I can be very, very quick. Sometimes I can be much slower. Sometimes I can freeze and try to remember where I was in my thought process. But I appreciate your comment, nevertheless. Last film, again, thank you for taking the time to give your thoughts for us all. A lot of us need help, indeed. Yes. Thank you. I'm glad you appreciate. Cypher Funk. Cypher Funk, we're going to get rid of it. Forget about Cypher Funk. Gone. Just like that. Annika, how can I overcome fear? You want to overcome fear when you understand that fear is not what we think it is. Fear is not something that you must avoid. Fear is an emotion that gets you to focus on something that is new and important. That's all there is. Fear is not telling you, oh, have anxiety. Fear is just getting you to focus and to prioritize that new thing that could be dangerous. And so what you want to do is to realize that this is what fear is about. So you can observe that thing and think the next moment, so now, how am I going to deal with that situation? So what sort of fear have you got in order for me to continue the conversation? What fear are we talking about? Let's say if you had a fear of rejection, for instance, the fears get you to focus on the perceived potential of you being rejected because of some experiences that you had in the past of you suffering rejection. So there's a whole process to it, but the fear in itself is only getting you to focus on something that is important. So yeah, tell me more, Anika. What sort of fear are we talking about here? Basically humanoid. Are you Buddhist, Taoist, or Hindu? I am neither. I appreciate all of them. I believe in all sorts of things, but I don't have any specific label. I don't belong to any club. I'm not a Buddhist. I'm not a spiritualist. I'm not an atheist. I'm not a this or that. I borrow all sorts of wisdoms that I agree with, and I'm creating my own literary system. And I believe that this is how we should be all doing, as far as belief are concerned. Life fear must be faced to overcome. So fear is not a thing that we face. Again, fear is our body getting into a state of tunnel vision, focus on that thing. That's all that is. Fear is focus. And so we want to stop imagining that there's something called fear with a mask and maybe a big black coat and a scythe, that thing, whatever it's called. It's not like that. Fear is just a reaction that our body is designed to have whenever we're facing something that is new, different, and potentially dangerous. So something that is considered important. That's all there is. So what we want to do is to have a better relationship with how we need to deal with things. For many of us, fear is the fear of the unknown, fear of the uncertain. And so we want to have a better relationship with the unknown, with the uncertain, instead of focusing on the fear. It's just a physiological response. It's not a thing in itself. Last theme, I do wish we were like that, everyone helping everyone. There's a lot of people like that. Focus on them. Find out there's more than you think there are if you give them a chance. It's about us retuning our radar. Our radar is so based on protection because we've been hurt. So now we believe that the world is full of bad people. So now our subconscious mind is constantly scanning for the bad people, for the bad things, for the worst possible case scenarios. But if you can retune this and think, you know what, in the world, there are good people, there are bad people, there are all sorts of people. There are people who are going through all sorts of different stages of their own journey. And what matters is where I'm going to focus my attention on. So I want to focus on the good people. I want to find out who are the good ones, the kind ones, the helpful ones, the healed ones. And if you can do that, you will notice them, you will see them. They'll start to pop up in your life out of nowhere. You realize, gosh, life is full of good people. There are still some bad people, and I'm going to learn how to create boundaries to stay safe from them. But the more you focus on the good people, the more you realize that you have been living in an alternative reality all those years, but it was getting you to only focus on the negative people. When there are a lot of positive ones, there's a lot of beautiful people, there are a lot of kind people, there are a lot of people who want to be kind, but they don't know yet how to. So you have to give them a chance. There are a lot of people who are healing just like you, and you can learn how to heal together as well. They're there. It's not that they're not there. It's just that we're looking in the wrong places. Last thing, congratulations on your change as well. Change is hard, but I think it should be congratulated. Caroline, yes, it's a Pixar movie animated about gratitude a lot. Okay, Soul. Also different perspective of life and the subject of the meaning of life, self-love, self-talk, and force of self-aware. It's one of them that I had on my radar that I wanted to watch at some point, so I will, whenever I get the chance. Last film, Soul was a good one. Okay. Sprinkers, yes, makes a lot of sense. Thank you, fantastic. Thank you, Sprinkers. Cindy Neves, hello, you are very wise. Thank you so much, Cindy. Nisi Schmidt, hello, Didi, it's good to see you. Thank you. Last film, being behind isn't an issue. You're trying to address a never-ending chat for 2 straight hours. No need to apologize, but I do understand. Okay, I understand what you mean. Okay, I just want I say this just in case because some people think that I'm ignoring them, so that's why. I'm glad that you are good with that. Jen Stevens, my stepfather raised me my whole life. He and my mum have a daughter together. He recently passed, and they're treating me like he wasn't my dad. I am not sure how to take this after calling him dad for 45 years. What would be a good way to bring this up, work out, sounding rude? So the thing that I want to address is how you feel about this. That's the only one thing that matters. How are you feeling about it? Are you angry? Are you sad? We can't really change people. You can talk to them. You can open yourself. You can be straight. You can tell them, you know what? I see you as my dad, and I wish that you could see me as your daughter. But you know, see how you feel. If you want to love them regardless. And if you feel hurt and there's something that has been broken, we can talk about it. Sprinkles. I've had years of therapy, but they just focus on the sexual abuse, sexual assault, thing else. So there are different people, different types of therapy, different protocols, different systems. Things evolve, things change, especially in the mental health field. And so because you had a bad experience with some therapists or some protocols in the past, doesn't mean that everyone is like that and nothing is ever going to work. Right? I too, myself, for many years, I had sought help with talking therapies and no one ever helped. And I hated all of them. I really thought that they're just, they didn't care about me. And I hated them. And so there are different types of therapies. Learn to find out about what is happening now, what could work for you, get to talk to the right people, and if you feel a connection with them, then you may be able to try something new and different that could help you out. Right? The system that I use is called RTT. But there are different systems like EMDR, there are plenty more. And it's for you to really find out what works for you. The analogy that I often use is, let's say, if you, I don't know, if you had Chinese food once in your life and the chef was terrible, and now suddenly you're going to say, oh, all Chinese food is bad. So I know it's a very poor analogy, but because you had a bad experience of something doesn't mean that it's going to be like that forever. There are different people with different systems, and things are always changing and evolving all the time. So keep going, keep seeking a way to find a solution to your problem. To every solution, to every problem, there's a solution. To every question, there's an answer. The universe is everything in space and time, and so nothing exists without its counterpart. Like bright and dark, they need both in order to exist. Otherwise, they wouldn't exist at all. And so what it means is that every moment there is a new question that is created. At the same time, there's a new answer somewhere in the universe. We just need to learn how to look in the right place. And the same thing with problem. When there's a new problem, in the same moment, there's a new solution to that problem that exists somewhere. And it's down to us to find out where to look at to find it. That's our job to do. Nisi Schmidt at Jen Stevens, that is incredibly hurtful. Frog Runner, help a person overcome physical, emotional, spiritual. Are you seeking help? Life's theme at Jen. My uncle told me once, you find out who your real family is when you go through inheritance. I see what you mean. Jen Stevens, it has been, they excluded me from the funeral and everything. It's very sad. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, those things happen. Anunnaki of Gem City. Is this about religious ideology? No, it isn't. It's about psychology. Sometimes I do talk about religions from a psychological perspective. And there's an aspect of spirituality sometimes in the things that I talk about as well. But it's not about religious ideology. Last theme, I'm sorry you're going through that while losing your immediate parent. I've lost my whole family and empathize with your situation very much. Aura Petsway, great content. Thank you, Aura Petsway. Sprinkles at Jen. He was your dad. Don't let them tell you any different. He loved you, and to him, you was his daughter. Your family are being very cruel. Must be a grief condolence to you. I didn't get this. He passed away, but he loved you. But it's your family that is telling you that they're not your dad, right? So if that's the case, if that's what you mean, then fuck them. They're nothing to you. If they're trying to hurt your feelings, ignore them. There's a whole world full of beautiful people. Honor the memories of your stepdad that you still love, that was like your dad to you, and then move on from those people. They don't matter. Is it what you meant? Because if that's the case, it is that simple. What they say don't matter. If they're saying those sort of things is terribly cruel, then they really don't deserve any more of your time or attention. Nurture the love that you had, but you still have, for your stepfather, but now that he's gone, and honor him by being happy. This is something that we say within the Chinese community and way of thinking. The best way to honor someone that we love that has passed away is to live a happy life. So for you, the first thing you want to be doing in order to be happy is to keep away from those toxic people. Yeah. Aubrey, you sound French. Are you Canadian? I'm French, actually. I was born in France. I don't see myself as French or Chinese or anything, really. But I was born in Paris many, many moons ago. I speak French. I grew up in France. My culture and my passport are French. Aniket, can you teach me chemistry? No, I cannot. Last theme, spinal degradation, 5 herniated disc, bone on bone, and brain injury, both from a car accident. Okay. Yeah. Aubrey, what would you recommend we do to stop the loneliness pandemic? We don't want to stop the loneliness pandemic. We want to address our own loneliness, and we want to be kind to the people close to us so that they don't feel alone. And that's it. There's no such thing as loneliness pandemic. People have always felt lonely. But maybe now, because the way society is designed, it has evolved in a way that it's more easy to see the loneliness of people. because they can hide behind the screen, they can stay home and order everything, they don't need to go out or socialize, they can work through their computers and things like that. But people have always suffered from loneliness, depression, anxiety. This is just, there's no such as pandemic. People have always suffered. What you can do is to address your own suffering, and if you're in a good place and you can help others, help the people who are close to you, your closed ones. Make sure that they're seen, that they're accepted, that you tell them that their feelings matter to you, that you spend time with them, that you listen to them, that you have some interest about them. And if you can't do that, redirect that energy towards you, at least. That's what I would say. But we don't need to. If you do that, if we all did that, there wouldn't be any loneliness pandemic anymore, right? I hope you agree with me. The mythical Whitey, W. Unk. Last theme, change for the better is too big a carrot to not chase. We all change. We all change. We just don't change in the way we want to change. We don't change in the way we would like to be, and it's not happening too quick or too exactly how we want it to be. But we all change. From the moment we are born until our last breath, we change. We change physiologically, we change mentally, psychologically, emotionally, we change spiritually, we change financially, we change in regards to society, we change, every aspect of us change all the time. Even just your body changes, every minute it changes. From the moment you're born until your last day. So everything changes all the time. Change is not difficult. What is difficult is to accept that we can change in the way we want to be if we do certain things and if we allow it to happen. With the right strategy, with patience, with the right guidance and help, we can all change some aspect of our life. We can all change what we need to change in order to find peace, happiness, love, connection, purpose. Jen, I appreciate everyone input much so. Fantastic. Jamim, hello. Guns and Gaming, are you an author? Yes, I've been published 10 times, but only as a part of a collective. I haven't been published just on my own yet, but I'm writing my own book and it will come out at some point. In the meantime, if you go on my website, there's a link to my bio. You will be able to see the 10 books which are there, where I have contributed. And yeah. Jemim, do you know my Dixie? I don't know what it means, Jemim. Mr. Blood, your phone's ringing. I don't understand, Mr. Blood. Sprinkers, I'm in isolation, don't have no family or friends at the moment. I'm done with people, just my cats and God. Okay, so if that's what makes you feel better and safer at this point in time, it's good, it's not a problem at all. But know that we all change, and at some point you may be ready to reconnect with some people. We don't need many people, we just need a handful of people with whom we can be ourselves. So your cat is already one, God is another one, maybe nature is another one, but you will need some people at some point. It will be better for your health and your potential to have connection with some people who can see you and accept you, and it's possible. Maybe find them online, but if you have some specific interest, go in some sort of groups where people enjoy some sort of things, and maybe you can start to talk about those things with those people and realize that there are more things in common between you and those people than just that hobby. Thank you for the little heart. M blood. So I'm going to get rid of M blood. Forget about M blood. They're gone. And everything they say is going to be invisible to us from now on. It's gone. Pumpkin Puff. I'm doing okay. I've been sick the last few days, but I feel much better today and plan on baking something tasty. I do have a question for you today that I hope you have an answer for. Okay. Let's do this. Life by Jamim. May at West. Hello. Last theme. For me, I had to try sensory deprivation to develop coping mechanisms with each fear in facing each fear. I developed a way to cope with it till I'm no longer afraid, just aware. Okay. If you have a system that works for you, fantastic. It's all about finding the system that works for us. And we're all different. And Kino, are you Frenchman? Yes, answer that question. Yes, I am. On paper, I am. Aubrey, you have a great voice for the radio. Thank you. And Kino, bonjour, bonjour, Kino. Marcy McMinky, fear of public speaking. How does one deal with that? So we want to address the reasons as to why you have that fear. There's a reason why we have the fear. Everything that we suffer from is a hindrance in our life, but it's always because we have decided at some point in our past that this was the thing that we needed to stay safe from whatever was happening to us then. So a simple scenario that is very common may have been that maybe when you're a child, you have been overwhelmed by a situation where everyone was staring at you. And ever since, now when you're doing public speaking, your subconscious mind is reminding you of that moment in time. Maybe the silence, the people, the eyes, the eyeballs are looking at you, and it's reminding you of how you felt then because of whatever happened. Maybe you've been told off by a teacher in front of everyone, and you felt terrible about yourself. And because of that, now you have created that system that is basically trying to protect you from speaking in front of people so that you never get into that emotional state anymore. So there's a lot of things. It depends on how bad it is. But unless you have some baggage, some trauma, the fear of public speaking is quite simple. What you want to do is to redirect your mind from what are they thinking of me to what am I going to give them. So it's like if you're an actor, you don't focus on what the director is going to think about you behind the camera. You're becoming the person that you are embodying. And this is something with public speaking, instead of focusing on, do I look all right? Do I think, do I come across as good enough? Do I look silly? Do I sound weird? Think, what am I going to give them? See them, they are your audience, they are your public, and now you are reclaiming power. You are changing the narrative, and it's not about them. You don't care about what they think. It's all about you. What are you going to deliver? What message, what energy, what theme, what stuff are you going to share with them? Focus on that perspective instead. And yeah, see if it works. Thank you for the little hearts. Mishko, hello, Pumpkin Puff. I have PTSD, and sometimes when I'm trying to relax, I will see something that will trigger me. I normally try to regather myself before I go into an hallucinated state, but sometimes I fail. All right, all right. So do you address your PTSD? Have you got some help for this? Which part of the process do you want me to help you with? If you can tell me that, that'll be helpful. Love's theme at Mythica. You are called for that one, but it's her father and family pain you dismiss so cavalry. I didn't even see that, so maybe... but, you know, thank you, Love's theme, for policing the naughty ones. Darth Clorox, big giveaway at Boba Brick's YouTube channel right now. So you're promoting someone? I'm not sure what to do with that. Pumpkin Puff, it's very frustrating. I absolutely hate that my brain thinks I'm back in danger, and sometimes I scream or cry because of the trauma. My husband helps as much as he can, but what can I do to help this? So what you want to do is to realize that you want to come back in the present moment. You want to go from a place of trauma, survival, reactivity, and reacting somehow through feelings, what you've been through, and instead bring yourself into the present moment. How do you do this? Breathe. Breathe mindfully. Reset your nervous system. Come back to homeostasis. Practice mindful breathing. Something else that you can do, but it's very, very easy to do now, is to put some very cold water on your face. So I don't know where you are, but in the UK, now it's quite cold. And the water coming from the tap is very freezing. So cold water on your hand, on your wrist, on your face for a few seconds or even a few minutes, and that will reset your nervous system. It will bring you back in the here, right? But other than that, you can always practice mindful breathing and then eventually do it for as long as needed until you are feeling better. Because this resets your nervous system mechanically. It does. But it only does if you keep doing it until it does. And then the next thing you want to do is to scan your immediate environment. So right here, right now, is there any danger? Is there any people who hurt me in the past that are here in front of me now? Is there any wild animals or zombies or whatever monsters going to hurt me? No, I'm fine, I'm safe. Look at your body, scan your body. Have I been stabbed? Am I bleeding? Am I drowning? Am I freezing? Am I burning? Do I have any intense pain? No, I'm fine. And so remind yourself, right here and now, I'm fine. Right here and now, I am safe. Right here and now, I can be at peace, and I can choose a better thought than the previous thought that get me to get into that state. And so choose to feel, okay, I'm going to practice gratitude. I'm going to practice, I'm going to choose a thought that makes me feel good about myself. Or I'm going to do something that makes me feel good about myself. Stand up, move away from where you are. If we stay in place, all the old stuff comes back to us. So move. Very importantly, when we are suffering from depression or anxiety, we must move. Physically, move yourself from the spot. Stand up, shake, dance, jump, punch a punching bag, go out for a walk, move. And then breathe, and then change the meaning of what you thought. Whatever thought that created that feeling of danger, challenge it. Why did you feel in danger? What is it? Is it because you saw something that reminded you of some stuff from the past? So address that. Maybe I saw a shadow, I saw something moving, and it reminded me of that. So did that thing that I saw, is it dangerous? Is it a little monster hidden behind it going to jump at me? No, it's not. It's just an echo from the past. So you can appreciate, understand, it's a memory from the past. It's not real, it's not here, it cannot harm me, I am safe. I am with your husband, I am at home, I am watching my favorite series on Netflix or whatever it is, I'm safe, I'm cool, I'm good. I'm going to focus my mind on that thing that makes me happy instead. Thank you for your heart. Jen, I can't help my mum and sister if they won't acknowledge the situation. So it's your mum and your sister that are being horrible to you. Is that what you mean? You don't need to change them. You need to change you. You need to stop expecting for them to give you something that they are not able to give you. Is that what you mean? Are you seeking some sort of validation from them? If they're not giving it to you, forget about them. Maybe they have their own reasons, but if I get it right, if they said that basically your stepfather, who was your father to you, is not your father, if they're being that toxic and cruel to you, they're not good to you, let them go. You don't need them in your life. They don't need to acknowledge anything. You need to acknowledge what is right for you. That's the difference. Nisi Schmidt, which type of trauma is RTT best for at helping to relieve? Emotional and mental trauma. Mental trauma is emotional trauma, it's the same thing. We don't suffer from a thought, we suffer from how we feel when we're having those thoughts. So it's always emotional anyway. So anything to do with PTSD, CPTSD, anything to do with how our mind is functioning in a way that is not helping us in our lives because of that things that happened in the past. So with RTT, we basically utilize hypnosis to go into regression and revisit some memories of the past that are to do with those trauma. The reasons as to why we were overwhelmed, and our mind has been dysregulated ever since, because it has never been taught any coping mechanism. So it has to stay like that to keep us safe somehow. But with RTT, we change the program. We make you realize that indeed those things happened. However, back then you were a child, so there's nothing you could do about it. But now you are no longer a child. You can learn how to become the adult. You can move from here to there, and then you can comfort the child. You can make it feel safe. You can tell that child, I'm in charge now, I'm a grown-up. This is never going to happen ever again. We're good. And so, yeah. RTT is one of those systems, like MDR, that work very well with any sort of trauma, regardless of the type of trauma, because it's all the same. It's just, it looks different. But trauma affects us when our brain works differently because of an overwhelm that happened to us that has not been that has not found a closure. I hope it makes sense. Do ask me more if you want. Pumpkin Puff, why my BPD and the PTSD feels like they work together to just make me angry and in a very bad spot mentally, because it's like I'm living in my trauma again even when I'm completely safe. So your BPD and your PTSD or CPTSD are there to protect you. It's very counterintuitive. It doesn't make sense. But whatever that we are suffering from is something that has happened because of the situation, and there's a part of us that believes that as long as I stay in that state, it's going to keep me safe. So whatever symptoms of your borderline personality disorder are there to protect you. And it's the same thing with PTSD. So borderline personality disorder, splitting. People are either very good, amazing, or very terrible. It's your system. You need to think quick. It's dangerous out there. You need to find out who's the good guys, who's the bad guys. So you need to think in black and white. You need to split. So it's just an instance, an example. When you are unable to regulate yourself emotionally, you overreact to everything and anything. It's a protection mechanism. You need to react quick because it's dangerous out there. You can't think, analyze, compare, remember. It's got to be quick. So that's why we are unable to regulate ourselves emotionally. We have created that system to always be one step ahead of the bad stuff. And with PTSD, it's the same thing. If you have hyper-arousal and you are constantly hyper-alert and paranoid, it's because your mind wants to protect you from whatever hurt you in the past. If you have a very low self-esteem, if you have a self-perception that is very negative of yourself, which is often the cause with trauma and absolutely with BPD, but because it wants to protect you. Remember, you're not good enough. You're not lovable. No one can love you. And so now it's going to remind you all the time. And now you're going to think, oh, no one can love me because I'm ugly, I'm stupid, I'm not good enough, I'm weak, I'm not worthy. And you are saying that to yourself originally because you want to be reminded of that, to be reminded to stay safe. If I believe that love is not available to me, I'm not going to allow love in my life because I'm going to get hurt. I'm going to get hurt otherwise. If I believe that happiness is not available to me, I will not allow myself to be happy because I don't know what is happy. It could be dangerous. I never had happy. And so, again, it sounds very counterintuitive, but all the things that you talk about were originally there, and they're still there to protect you. And so that's why, again, Pumpkin Puff, remember, you're on your journey. Work on your BPD, work on your PTSD or your CPTSD, work on all of those things, and eventually things will start to get better. But at least today, realize that they're there originally to somehow help you, even though it doesn't feel right. Mandy, there's a heart emoji. And Gopi, I'm going to get rid of you. Gone. Stephanie, hi. Hello, Stephanie. Mandy, it is time to let go of old stories. Is it time? Yes. Well, it's time to let go of the old stories, especially if they are causing problems in our lives. But also because every day is a new story. And so we can either reminisce on the past and be defined by the past, or we can create that new story from scratch every day, every moment, one day and one moment at a time. We're an ever unfolding story. So the story is ongoing. We can always start from anew every day or any moment. We can do this all throughout our lives. Last theme, burpees till I puke, help me with anxiety. Nothing else has touched it. All right, okay. So you don't need to puke, but I get it. You know, physical stuff, moving are really overlooked when it comes to mental health. We need to go out, we need to walk, we need to socialize, talk to people, we need to exercise, to let go of some energy. Otherwise, we need to keep stress. And stress is going to make everything worse, as mentioned before in this live today. Last theme, I think it's time to let go of trauma when you can be at peace with owning it. Ria, puke burpees. Last theme, I agree. We thrive with connection and feeling seen, understood as we are. Yes. Last theme, yes, burpees till you puke. It's a jump, then push up, many variations, but the physical exertion calms anxiety very effectively. So again, another funny guy, Akil Dusable, we're going to get rid of without reading the comment, and just like that, they're gone. Yes, gone. Michelle, hello. Marcia, Minky, thank you so much for the advice. I'm glad you appreciate something that I said. Last film, not policing, I just don't ignore bullying. I appreciate. Lol, it's from trauma in my youth. Totally, I get it. I'm okay with it now, so I don't change that about my personality. Lol. Yeah, why not? Fendi Kit. What can I do about enjoying the company and sake of a man that actively says he's confused? Enjoy it. If you enjoy the company of someone, regardless of whatever, appreciate that this is what you're doing, this is what you are choosing to do. Appreciate it. Right? I think you want to ask me something else. Are you trying to tell me about how to talk to that person to help them with their problems or something like that? Just enjoy, agree on something, make the most out of it, and that's it, whatever it is. What do you mean that he's confused? About what? Mendium, a breathing gift of presence. Yeah. Pumpkin Puff. Thank you, Didi. I appreciate your advice, and I will write those steps down and be sure to do them the next time I experience a trigger. Fantastic. Guys, if you need to know also, so Pumpkin Puff knows, but I leave my live streams to be found online on YouTube. So it takes many hours for YouTube to upload them. But every time I go live, the following day, you can find in my live section all the live streams that I've been doing. So you can always replay them. So if you heard something, if you want to retrieve some information, you can always replay those videos, okay? And so make sure that you have subscribed to my channel if you haven't yet. Valentina, hello. What do you think about PMDD have every month 2 weeks of hell? Is it, let me double check the acronym. PMDD. Premenstrual dysphoric disorder, a severe form of PMS characterized by significant physical and emotional symptoms that interfere with daily life and occurs in the second half of the menstrual cycle. So symptoms, mood and emotional symptoms, severe anger or irritability, anxiety, feeling on edge, depression, panic attacks, mood swings, and feeling of being overwhelmed. Physical symptoms, bloating, breast tenderness, headaches, joint or muscle pains, fatigue, and changes in appetite. And other symptoms, difficulty concentrating, trouble sleeping, and lack of interest in usual activities. Okay, so we're going to talk about the mood and emotional part of it. The one thing that I could suggest you to do, because it's something that is physiological, if it's really, really bad, I would suggest you some type of hypnotherapy, just like RTT, to find out why it's affecting you so badly. Maybe there are some triggers that have to do with your childhood. Maybe you have absorbed some stuff from your mum, from the things that happened to you, that is getting you to react in ways that are more pronounced than other people would experience. Now, it doesn't have to be that either. It's just something you may want to think about. The other thing that you can do, however, without seeking professional help, is to learn about mindfulness. Learn how to find ways, so not just mindfulness, but also find ways to let go of stress. We're talking about it a few times in this live stream today, but whatever we're going through, if we have stress, it gets worse. And so maybe find a way to regulate, to manage your stress, to understand your response to what you think, what you feel, but also how you perceive your environment, people, life. So all those things are going to have an impact on the reactions of your body when you go into your premenstrual cycle. I don't know if it's called like that. So yes, so find ways to limit your stress, find ways to practice mindfulness, and that will help you overall. And if it's really bad, then seek therapy, as in hypnotherapy, RTT therapy. That goes straight to the reason as to why it happens, and that can make a huge difference, like very, very quickly, straight away. But you don't have to do this. Maybe just by learning how to do some yoga, learning how to practice mindfulness, learning how to have more rest, be kinder to yourself, and avoiding toxic people or toxic environments. Just that can already help you a lot. Maybe address also your lifestyle, address your diet, make sure that you sleep enough. All of those things, lifestyle, environment, are so important to all of us. So yes, lifestyle, environment, and maybe therapy. Ouya Yup. Hey Didi, nice to see you. I hope you're doing good. I'm good, thank you. I don't remember how long you are staying. Is there still time? It's 8 o'clock. It's time for me to go. so I'm here from 6 to 8. So I'm going to read the last comment very quickly. And if there's a short question, I can answer it quickly. But if it's a big topic, I will talk about it next week on one of my 2 next live stream. Sarah Narsi, what do you do when you know medication is not the solution for your life? Long double depression, but other things, medication is an easy fix. I want to talk to you about it. It's a big topic. Do come back to me, please. If you don't follow me already, do subscribe to my channel. And I come live every Wednesdays and every Fridays on YouTube from 6 to 8 p.m. UK time. So now it's coming to the end. Do come back and I will spend a lot of time talking to you directly. You can share me some stuff about you, more specific, and we can really do something together, right? Please do come back. Mandy, any tips on going to bed early? Next time, please. Mandy, importance of sleep. Yes, I would love to talk about it next time if you don't mind. Pumpkin Puff, I'm glad you mentioned that you can rewatch live. I just can't assume that I will even be able to think straight enough to remember everything you say, but it is very helpful to be able to rewatch this. Thank you, Pumpkin Puff. So guys, again, until next week, you can replay my old live streams and see if there's something for you there. Sarah, what do you do with long life, double depression, medication has not worked? So next time, hopefully, do come back, please. Annette Lalonde, what do you think happens when we die? Very important topic. Next time, if you don't mind. I love talking about this, but next time. Pumpkin Puff, I really do appreciate your advice, support, and your time. Thank you again for helping me and everyone else here. Thank you so much. Annette, are you a Christian belief? No, I'm not Christian. I started my life in a school of none. So I was Christian at the start of my life, but I'm no Christian anymore. I believe in everything, and I love Jesus as well as Buddha and Ganesha and all of them, but I'm not Christian, no. Quote the Wolf, any advice for ADHD and being unable to form a sleep schedule routine? I can just never form the habit of getting up on time and going to sleep on time. Come back next week, please, and I will talk about it. Right? Ask me again then. Sarah Nars, what do you do with life? Long double depression. So you asked me already. Hopefully, we'll talk about it next time. Who are you? I'm not feeling good today, but I don't know how to put it to words. I did not want to waste your time. You're not wasting my time. It's just that it's time for me to go because I'm allocating those two hours weekly, but I have tons of other stuff to do. So I can't stay much longer, I'm afraid. But do come back next time if you don't mind. Look, how do I find my goal? I'll tell you next time. Last film. Thank you so much. Good night. Until next time. Thank you. We are you, but it's nice even just popping up just to say hello and goodbye. Thank you. I'm glad that you appreciate. But do come back. I want to address your question. We are you. I wish you a nice evening. Same to you. Thank you. Sarah, thank you. I will definitely be back. Fantastic. Thank you. Mandy, heart emoji. Quote the Wolf. Thank you. Have a good evening. Thank you for your time. Thank you. Ellie Mariana said hi, hello. Caroline, have a good evening. Didi, take care. Thank you for the live. Guys, thank you so much. I love you all. Again, thank you for following me. If you don't already, I put some short videos every day and also one long form content every week on YouTube now. So if you have anything you want to ask me also, you can comment on my video and suggest some topics that I could use for my next long form video, right? But to make sure that I see them, comment them on the long form video. Right? Watch some of my long form video and maybe you can comment and say, you know what, would you mind talking about this next time? And I may consider it because I need to have some inspiration for some of things. So maybe you can help me with that. Other than that, hopefully I see you sometime next week. And also, if you need any details about me as a therapist and coach, there's a link on my bio to my website, so just go there, and I offer a free discovery call to anyone who is serious into seeking professional help with me. Okay, Mandy, I will put you in my schedule. Thank you for sharing. Much love. Fantastic. Strada, how did you? Hope you are doing great. I'm doing well. Guys, I love you. Take care of yourself. Be kind to one another. And if you can't, at least, as always, be kind to yourself. Okay?